Oh, goody.
All right, what's up, everybody? Zombies here again, and we are back with part 3 of our Chi G event guide. So for this one, we basically have to go after heroic. It's another heroic. Definitely seeing a trend there later on in these. So this one is actually for heroic Ahune, the Frost Lord. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right or not, but he is the boss of this one. You can find him in Winter Spring. He is the last boss of Winter Spring, and for this challenge, you just have to have 3 beasts in your party in order to get it complete when you beat him. So the farming comp we used to get up to the boss is Anduin with Harmonic Mallet, Velen, Tome of Inspiration, and King Mukla with Mukla's Big Brother. This is who I did the majority of the fights with. Mukla's Big Brother is just very handy for keeping your 2 casters safe until you can AoE them. I think I did make a mistake and had Anduin die at one point, and you do kind of need him for the boss, so keep an eye out for those spirit healer spaces, because you might need that in case you accidentally let one of your units die. But we are using Anduin, Velen, and Natalie here, Spirit of Nordrzil, for the boss fight. And then the beasts can kind of be whatever you want. I do recommend Mukla if you do want to clear the regular fights with these 2. Mukla just goes alongside them very nicely. And then your other 2 beasts can be anything. I threw King Crush and Zwen here, but you could really throw in whatever you want. You could even pop in Chi-Ji if you are still working on getting her leveled, as I did not use 2 out of my 3 beasts at all during the whole fight. So that is going to be the strategy here. If you enjoy this type of content, do remember to like and subscribe. It really does a whole lot to help out the channel and keeps the Mercs content coming. So let us get into this first bounty. And we have made it to our first boss here. This one is probably one of the easiest bosses for this kind of challenge. Like some other bosses in the game, it's kind of harder getting to him than the fight itself. But you just want your Anduin, your Velen, and your Natalie. Make sure you use Natalie's 3rd skill on turn 1, so you get the initial damage off on all his summons, and then you can clean them up with Velen and Holy Nova the next turn, and then Benediction, heal your guys, get the Natalie 3rd skill back to doing damage, and rinse and repeat. That is basically how to do this bounty. I don't think there is a way to fail at doing this. This just seems to be a pretty surefire strat. So if you've got these mercenaries and you can get to the fight, it shouldn't be that hard for you. It did speed this up a bit because it does take a little bit. It's not super long, but definitely could be shorter for sure. So didn't want to waste everyone's time watching the same thing over and over and over again, so we did speed it up. But yeah, getting to it, probably a little bit harder than the actual fight itself, because, you know, obviously this is pretty simple and repetitive. But definitely not complaining. I do not mind when some of these tasks are easier, because some of the ones further down the line are definitely more challenging. But we will get to those later. Alright, so we got him down to 50 health, so I believe one more rotation here with the Holy Nova, and that will do it for Task 3. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about the event. Do you like the way they did it? Do you think there are ways they could have done it better? Would definitely love to hear from people in the community about what they think about it. So, bounty done. Grab our coins here. And we are going to check Task 3 of the event off the list. Alright, and now we're up to task number 6. So, for this one, this is, I'd say, one of the more challenging ones. You have to defeat Heroic Ivus with 3 beasts in your comp. So, if you've seen my other video on how to do Heroic Ivus, you'll know that nature, I think, is the best way to go about it. So we do have Malfurion with his Life Root Staff for our healing and sustain, super important. Brukan with Lightning Rod. You could also do Lightning Bolt with additional damage. It's really kind of your call there. But we mainly use him for scaling up our nature damage and sometimes some slows or chain lightning maybe during the climb on up if we end up pulling him out. And then Guff, just good for damage, and the Bramble Thorn Totem gives him even more damage. So for our 3 beasts, we have King Mukla with Mukla's big brother. Just, you know, standard stuff there. We're actually running Zwen. Really cool unit. I actually tried a strategy with, instead of opening with my nature stuff, because what I learned from the last time doing this boss is that the blues that spawn in the beginning of the fight have a chance to focus down your Malfurion before he can out-heal them. So I was like, okay, well, we'll go with Big Brother and then 2 green beasts, kind of throw them out there as fodder to deal with those big blues, and then kind of intentionally kill them off so we can get our nature squad in, deal with the treants, keep healing, and then eventually kill Ivus. So we are running the Celestial Chestplate as it is his best item, and I know Zwen is a newer mercenary, so if you don't have all his stuff leveled up yet, you could swap him out with someone else. Really any beast will do. And if you do want to know what you want to prioritize with him, at least for this build and probably PvP in general, in my opinion, Pounce is your best ability. You really want to get this one up first. Tiger Lightning is also good, and then definitely want to go for his Celestial Chestplate. And then we have King Crush with his Flaming Claws for an extra 8 attack. The nice thing about this was it definitely gives you some options when you're going through the bounty, as this is one of the newer and arguably harder heroics. So it's nice to be able to have multiple decent options when you're climbing your way up through it. But that is kind of the overview for the comp here. Let's get into the bounty. and we have made it to Heroic Ivus. So I employ a pretty similar strategy that I used in my original Heroic Ivus guide for all the heroic bounties, but obviously this one you need 3 beasts. So I figured what I learned from my first time is the blues can kind of focus down Malfurion. If you're not careful, you can die, which is rather bad. So I was like, all right, we'll just lead with our beasts because we have 2 greens. We can use the greens to clean up his blues, and then we can kind of kill them off intentionally, and then let nature kind of handle Ivus, because they just seem like the best comp to be able to do that right now. The main reason for that is because of the healing. We just have so much sustainability with nature that it just makes it easier to get through his like waves of summons when you hit him low enough that he ends up going dormant. So we're just focusing down the last blue here. Get some good damage off. I felt this comp actually made it a little bit easier than it was the first time. You probably could get away doing it from the beginning with nature as well. I just wanted to try something a little bit different since we already had the beasts with us. Thought it'd be like a fun little bonus challenge to see if they were useful. So now we do get down our 2 nature boys, and we're going to kill off the crush intentionally, so that way we can get Guff out as well. Once you get the nature units out, it's pretty hard to lose this fight, in my opinion. You just be careful about which ones you kill and which abilities they're doing so they don't hit you for a lot, and then you can just keep healing your guys up and slowly pick down the boss. Yep, we're gonna get Guff out here. And gonna go for some healing. You can never be too safe when one of your units is low. We really do need Malfurion and Brucon, so do not want to risk him dying.
Job done.
And we get our nice big heal here. And yeah, it's much like the first bounty. It's pretty repetitive from here. All we're going to end up doing is just killing his spawns. Then we're going to just deal as much damage as we can before he gets the next wave out, rinse and repeat. And that will be the boss fight. Definitely had an easier time with it this time around. Making sure your Malfurion stays alive is very helpful. So using your beasts as cannon fodder to just kind of get rid of the blues without any of your nature guys getting damaged seems like a pretty good strat.
Job done.
And we get down the first wave. We're gonna pick him down again. Yep, there are the next 3. And yeah, we're just going to pick these down, and it'll be nice and simple. Then we'll be able to kill the boss.
Job done.
And that is the heroic Ivus one. So that will be the end of task 6. So over halfway there at this point. Very nice.
Without hope, there is no light in the future.